So we were sent a screener for a brand new 2025 found footage horror film, aptly titled Man Finds Tape.
And finds tape.
That's as straight to the point as it gets.
Yep.
All right, so what's on that tape the man found, you ask? I'm here to tell you. So we have our man who
Me?
finds the tape,
Oh,
not you,
okay.
or man, no, who finds the tape. He starts a YouTube channel. He becomes pretty famous off of this series that he does, where he talks about this footage that he's found and other happenings and goings on, and he gets like a whole conspiratorial following. And then his career kind of goes south because of something, and he calls on his sister for help. They've kind of become estranged since the death of their parents, and she returns home to help him kind of investigate some weird findings and try to get his life back on track. That's good, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good plot synopsis. Not too much spoilers. I was really enjoying this one. I thought that the setup, the initial intrigue and mystery and all of that stuff was really working well for me, and I was digging all of that. And I think it is an extremely ambitious found footage film that definitely has a budget to it and a lot of effort put into it. It just got a little too silly for me, a little too ridiculous and over the top at times. But I do think that this is going to find an audience. I think that there's going to be a lot of people in the found footage community that are big fans of this one. I will say, and I don't think this is a super similar film at all. The only reason I bring this up is because I kind of felt similar-ish the first time I watched The Bay. But I've watched that a few times now, and I love that film. That just got so ridiculous to me the first time, but I don't know. I wasn't vibing with it then. I don't think this is the same quality as The Bay. I just bring that up because I also felt similarly. But yeah, this one just was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's a really ambitious film for sure. And for me, it wasn't as much ridiculous, but it does get quite theatrical, I think. Which for some people, yeah, I can see not being like a very positive part of it. But I think I overall enjoyed it. It reminds me a lot of another film that we watched recently, which I won't name, only in that there is like a very similar element kind of involved, like a very specific element that I thought was funny because we watched both of these relatively like close together. And yeah, that is an interesting part for sure. But yeah, I enjoyed everyone's performance in this. I liked the mystery and the setup that we got. I thought all of that was really good. There's kind of a combination of, it is sort of mockumentary style-ish.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you get things as they're happening, but it's also retrospective in that it's like being told from the future, like the past is being told. It's interesting. Yeah, but I liked all that, and I think it flows really well. And like I said, I think everyone's performance is pretty natural, and that's always really important for found footage.
Yeah, it's got a compilation of different footage and whatnot. You're not just following a camera or something.
Right, right.
There's a lot of different.
There's like
cameras
security
and,
cameras, webcams, like all kinds of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did try to vibe with what was happening towards the end, but there was just like some. It just got a little too ambitious for its own good, in my opinion, and it came off as silly to me.
I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I I will be curious to see how the community reacts to this one. Because here's the thing. When it comes to found footage, a lot of people, especially ones that don't like the subgenre, their big complaint that we always hear is nothing happens.
So much happens.
Well, holy shit. That is so not the case with this one.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who is like, found footage movies are so boring, it's always just like a cabinet opening and I'm supposed to be scared or whatever. If you're that kind of person, then maybe this one would be more up your alley, because my issue is too much happens. You know, it's less is more in scenarios like this for me. There's definitely places where I'm like, okay, I don't need that much exposition. I don't need that, because there is some exposition scenes that are like, no, chill the fuck out.
There's a bit of over explanation happening. I definitely agree with that, because I do actually think the story is pretty cool, but I think some stuff could have been left to our interpretation or imagination a little bit more, and it would have made it creepier. You know, in a lot of ways. So I definitely agree with you on that. And I think that the last act is like pretty jam-packed in terms of like stuff happening. And, you know, that's not always the case though, that like, you know, for a movie like one of my favorite found footage films, As Above, So Below, I would have to say that a ton of stuff happens in that movie. Like, that's a really jam-packed found footage film, and that, you know, manages to make it work. Some of that might be budget kind of stuff, right? But I think that, like, I think you kind of already hit the nail, that I think the problem with this one is more of the over-explanation that weighs it down.
Sure, and another thing that annoys me, too, with movies that over-explain like this is, if you're going to over-explain, I better not have any questions left. And I had plenty, right? And ones that I feel like should have been answered if you're going to take that much time to over-explain things.
Yeah.
Like, I kept asking you, I was like, okay, so if this is happening, you know, because there's this element where people are going kind of comatose in this movie, and I have quite a few questions around that. I don't understand how it's working, and how sometimes, anyway, I don't want to give things away, but I was asking Kaylee throughout this, like, how does that work if this is here? And it, you know, I asked her one question, like, I kind of, I asked it a few different ways, and she was like, no idea. I don't know. It's a mess up in the film, I guess. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm getting from this movie. And then even after the over-explanation, I was like, no, that's still just a straight-up mistake in a plot hole, in my opinion. I don't see how this is possible. Can't talk about it, obviously, because of spoilers, but I got no explanation for it. And when you take that much time of the movie, I feel like when you over-explain yourself, you always leave yourself open for plot holes.
Yeah.
Less is more when it comes to these explanations.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
But it's a recommendation, though, I think, for found footage fans.
Yeah, check it out.
It's definitely one that, like you said at the beginning, I think there'll be a pretty big audience, or at least, like, the people that are going to like it will really love it.
Yeah, if you're into ambitious, conspiratorial found footage films, I think it brings some good things to the table. Just don't expect too much.
Yeah.
And you should be okay with it.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's that. December 5th, this will be released, and check it out then. All right, guys.
All right.